Coming up, special edition of the podcast. I'm joined in studio by my friend, Terrence Williams. He's a MAGA influencer. He's a comedian. He's an entrepreneur. We're going to talk about election results, about Trump, realignment, Senate leadership, a second-term agenda, and also Terrence's pancake company and the future of comedy in a new post-woke America. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble or listening on Apple, Google, or Spotify, please subscribe to my channel. This is the Dinesh D'Souza podcast.
America needs this voice. The times are crazy. In a time of confusion, division, and lies, we need a brave voice of reason, understanding, and truth. This is the Dinesh D'Souza podcast.
Hey guys, a special podcast today. I have my buddy Terrence Williams in studio. It's really great. And so we're going to be able to talk about a whole bunch of issues. You know Terrence Williams, but just for the few of you who don't, he's an actor, he's a comedian, he's an entrepreneur, he's a social media sensation. He's got an internet following of over 5 million fans. He regularly tours the country, making people laugh. And he's also got a company, which we'll talk about. It's called Cousin Teas. And he's actually brought some Cousin Teas pancakes. And we might be having a snack during the show. In any event, his website, well, there's cousinteas.com. That's where you can order the pancakes, the syrup, the other good stuff. His website, terrencewilliams.com. Terrence, great to have you. This is so cool.
Well, you left out I was your best friend. He's a comedian, entrepreneur, my bestie.
Remember, I started off saying my buddy, Terrence Williams.
I like bestie, my bestie.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me on, Dinesh.
Now, when did we first meet?
Oh, that was back in, I think, was it 2018?
Something like that,
I think it was 2018.
Yep.
And you and Debbie took me out for my birthday.
Yeah.
That's right.
Y'all took me to some nice restaurant. I didn't even know how to sit down. Yeah, it was nice. We had steak. I was like, I was looking at those prices. But I mean, it was phenomenal. Like that y'all had took it because you and Debbie are pretty busy, so I was really appreciative that y'all took the time out to take me out for my birthday and buy me some $100 steak. That was some good steak. That was some good steak.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And then of course we had you in the film Trump Card.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And I ain't been in another movie since. So we here to talk about me being in a movie. Can I be a driver? Can I open up the door or something? I don't even need a big role.
Oh, I actually noticed that you have Terrence Williams is an actor in your bio.
Exactly.
Is that your sole credit?
Yes, let me act. Yes. The only acting I've done is acting like I am an actor. It's time for me to be a real actor to this. Okay? I'm okay with dying in the beginning of the movie. Yeah. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
The opening scene.
Yes. Everybody actually remembers the first person that died in the movie. So you remember that one?
Especially in a horror movie.
Exactly. Yes. So
right?
I'll be that person. I'm not asking for a lot. But yeah. I do remember that though. Yeah.
Well, Terrence, it's not only great to see you, but it's good to hear your laugh. And I've been actually hearing your laugh a lot more on social media. And hey, we've been through you got to say pretty grueling years with these maniacs running the country, right?
Man.
And let's start by talking about that. Like, what did that do to your mood, and did it affect your comedy?
I mean, it's been about 8 years, right? Since
well, you had Trump till 20, and then you had Biden 20.
Well, I'm talking about when Donald Trump started running for office.
Oh, right. Oh, I see what you mean. You're saying
it's been a long road.
Yeah.
I came out and supported Donald Trump, back in 2015, and these Democrats have been ruthless ever since.
Yeah.
They have been unhinged. They are bullies. They are the real bullies. These people are bullies. You cannot have your own thought. You cannot have your own opinion. If you don't believe in what they believe in, it's the end. it's the end. They coming after you, your job, your family, everybody. They want you to be done with, over with, done data. These people are, I can never, ever get down with these Democrats, ever. These liberals, they're so mean and cruel. I mean, it's been terrible. But they have helped me out a lot because a lot of them are really silly. They do a lot of dumb. They come up. I be like, what?
I mean,
I literally roll out of bed for some of the stuff that they put out.
But I mean, this is the key to your comedy, right? That people have different types of comedy, and your comedy is essentially the comedy of reaction.
Yes.
Right? You'll put something on there and then you have your expression, and your expression actually is very patient, I noticed, because you don't immediately go nuts. You show a certain type of curiosity, like, right? And it's sort of like, it's somewhat tactical, because I think you know the lunacy is coming. I'm
trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
That's it.
Because you look like you about to say some stupid shit. But I want to believe, a part of me want to believe this something dumb is not about to come out your mouth. So I'm just.
But I mean, there actually is an element of really great acting in there, which people don't realize, because it's both natural, but it's also, if I watch the progression of your face, you start off, you're kind of neutral, then you're intrigued. That's stage 2. Stage 3 is you're like, now something crazy is coming down the pike, right? That's stage 3. And stage 4 is when you unleash.
Yeah, exactly. I'll fall out of my chair. Oh, God. No, but seriously, they literally, you would think, like, I cannot believe somebody actually pulled out their phone. You literally, you put in your passcode, went to your camera, hit the record button, then I know you rewatched it. And then you put it on the internet. That shit is crazy. And it'd be the craziest stuff. But they have provided me, which is the only thing that I love about them, is that they provide me with a lot of material. You don't have to write anything. You can literally talk about the things that they do and people just crack up and laugh. Because it's, you got these people, they identifying as cats. And literally on the internet, literally acting like a cat. A woman literally said she said, this is my in heat cat voice. Like, what? She said she talked to her cats when they're all in heat. What? Like,
now,
these people are crazy.
I think it is a case where there are these bubbles right in our culture where this stuff, I'm sure, look at it from their point of view. They obviously don't think they're crazy, right? They think they're cool. So this woman probably thinks, well, listen, I'm on the cutting edge. I mean, you take LGBTQ, I'm like beyond that. Like, I'm on the frontier.
Yeah, I'm a cat too.
Yeah, I'm a cat. So there's a certain world in which I think she thinks, and she's making the video for that world because she wants those people to go, oh man, my daughter may be identifying as a boy and stuff, but you're even ahead of that. You're identifying as a cat. What you do is you kind of switch the context on them. You take their video and you put it in front of like normal America, right?
Yeah, right.
And then you have people looking at that. Yeah. And there's something inherently funny, but I think you play a key role. You're like the broker because sometimes when people see particularly all this kind of woke stuff, they've been even the conservatives have been sort of battered a little bit, and so they're a little reluctant to laugh. Yes, because they're like, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to feel that way. Yeah, and what you do is you kind of not only give them permission to like, this is nuts. Right, exactly. You don't have to hold back. This is crazy.
Exactly. I mean, it's insane. But the left, they think we're crazy. As much as we think they're crazy, they literally think we are the crazy ones. Yeah. These liberals are just, and then when it comes to politics, I mean, it's just insane the things like that they believe in. Insane. That's why I wasn't surprised half of these people got behind Kamala Harris. They're all dumb. Because you have to be, like, Kamala Harris has the mind of a fruity pebble. So if you are getting behind this woman, you have to be literally, and I didn't want to say this during the election. I didn't want to call, I didn't want to say, oh, if you're a Kamala Harris supporter, you stupid, da-da-da. If you don't support Trump, you stupid. I didn't want to say that at first because I was trying to, I wanted people to come over to our side, right? So, I did joke around and laugh at the silliness. But, I wanted to, hey, y'all come over here.
You're trying to persuade.
Yeah, come over here. We friendly over here. And but in the back of my head, I'm thinking, how could you be so damn stupid? And now that the election is over, now that Donald Trump is in office, you can forget about me trying to persuade you. Don is back in, and you got to be stupid as hell to support Kamala Harris. Just dumb. And now you're looking dumb because she lost in a landslide.
When we come back, I want to ask an interesting question, which is when you look at the demographics of this election. Mm-hmm. The one group that went for Harris decisively, college-educated white progressives, right? And these are the people who I'm sure think of themselves as the smartest people in the country.
Right.
So let's come back and talk about how the smartest people in the country who actually they're not just smart in their own mind. They've got credentials, they've got degrees, they've got PhDs.
Yeah.
They genuinely think they're it. Mm-hmm. They, in fact, think the country would be much better if it were running along the lines that they would recommend.
Right.
They feel like they're entitled to do the blueprints for society.
Yes.
And yet you're saying, and I agree, that these people are monumentally stupid. So when we come back, let's talk about how that can be. For those of us holding our breath for the past several months, we can now exhale. Whew. Work can finally be done on some of the major issues the country is facing, but one of the big ones is our national debt. And the fact is our nation is virtually broke. The debt is a house of cards that can't quickly be dismantled. And so my strategy remains the same. Diversify our savings. That's why Debbie and I buy gold from Birch Gold. And also we've seen that gold go up in value. So many things are out of our control, even out of our president's control. It's important to have a safe haven for your savings. Birch Gold Group, my gold company, will help you to convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. And the best news, it doesn't cost you a penny out of pocket. So get started. Text Dinesh to 989898. You'll get a free information kit. Plus, right now through Black Friday, you get free a 1-ounce silver eagle for every $5,000 purchased. Diversify your savings with Birch Gold. Text Dinesh to 989898. Claim your eligibility for free silver today. This year, I've given you so many reasons to try Balance of Nature, but I've got one now that you really can't ignore. Let's review some of the other reasons. First, with Balance of Nature, you get a product made from whole fruits and veggies. That's this, fruit and veggie ingredients, fruits and veggies in a capsule. Second, they can provide you with so many of the things you may be missing. Third, it could be just what you've been looking for to make you feel better. And of course, Debbie and I take them. But I think you'll agree this new reason trumps them all. During November, with my special promo code, you get their Black Friday savings all month long. Use my discount code, it's America. Sign up as a new customer. You get 50% off plus free shipping. This is an amazing, unbelievable discount, but you got to use my discount code. It's America. Here's the number to call, 800-246-8751. Again, it's 800-246-8751, or you can go to balanceofnature.com. When you use discount code America, you get 50% off plus free shipping. I'm back with comedian and entrepreneur and actor.
The
Terrence Williams.
The trolls are going to love that one.
Our adopted son.
That's right. He's also our good friend, our good buddy. And Terrence, I noticed you have, Debbie pointed out, you have a 45 hat.
I know.
And I think I know why. Here's why. You might have heard on social media that there are some people on MSNBC who think that in order to give us the first black female president right away, Biden needs to step down, right? And she should become president for about 2 months. And then... But see, if that's the case, then all the 47 hats have got to be
48.
changed. They're going to be 48.
Yeah.
So that's why you're waiting.
You know what? Yeah, exactly. Because they are petty enough just to do that. Just as we're gonna make her the 47, so Trump has to change all his merch. So he has to change. So he has to change everything up. That's what they would do. But I heard. Well, who was it? It was one of Kamala staffers too, who presented that idea that Biden should step down and let her become the first female and the first female black president, which I think is absolutely insane. Kamala, that is the definition of a participation trophy. She wasn't even supposed to be the presidential nominee to begin with. That was Joe Biden's. Joe Biden, people voted for him in the primaries. Kamala Harris did not deserve to be the presidential, the Democratic nominee. She didn't even deserve that. She didn't even get the votes for it. They voted for Joe Biden. Now they want Joe Biden about to step down. And Joe Biden is a Trump supporter now. Joe Biden is a Trump supporter.
Well, just recently I saw there was some sort of a ceremony. I don't know what it was, but Jill Biden was there, and in comes Kamala Harris. I say Kamala. Maybe it's Kamala.
Her husband. Camila.
I don't know. Kamala. Okay. Anyway, in comes Kamala Harris with Doug Emhoff. America's like beta male husband, but Jill Biden, you can see, is like giving them both daggers. She looks over at them, not in a pleasant way, and
she wore red.
She wore red on election day.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Her husband put on a MAGA hat, which is, listen, he put on a MAGA hat, like Biden. Like, literally nobody running against Trump would have put on a MAGA hat. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't think Kamala does not deserve to be president for 2 days, 2 weeks, or 2 months. She does not deserve to be the president. Nobody voted for her. The American people made their decision on election night. They chose Donald Trump. Nobody chose Kamala.
And think of the humiliation in the history books, right? Because if you're doing it for the history books, what are the history books going to say? She ran in the election. She lost. Mm-hmm. The other guy stepped aside so that she could have the spot for the interim kind of, what do you call it when someone is a lame duck period?
Yes, exactly.
And then she was promptly ousted by the guy who actually won the election.
Right.
Who would want to go down in history that way?
She don't mind. She sucks.
Yeah.
She's
never going to get another shot.
She's never going to get another shot.
Yeah.
Kamala sucks. Like, Kamala is always behind the ball on everything. She's always in last place. Now, that's why they have to give her participation trophies.
Do you think the smart people, we talked about the so-called smart people, do you think that the reason, I'll give you a plausible reason for how they might be thinking. They might be thinking, well, look, in the last 4 years we had Biden, but really Biden has not been running the country.
Right.
We've got a group of smart people around Biden. These are like the Obama gang, right? Mm-hmm. And these are the same people who will be running the country if Kamala Harris comes in. So in other words, the Democrats now have this new model in which the president, or at least the candidate for president, doesn't really matter. It's a front man. It's like a ventriloquist dummy. Right? And so maybe some people are thinking, well, it doesn't matter if it's Kamala Harris. It doesn't matter if it's Biden. It doesn't matter if it's somebody else, because the real people who are running the country will continue to run the country. And that's what we're voting for.
Yes. And that's why that's why a lot of people will say Kamala Harris is a puppet.
Yeah.
Joe Biden is a puppet. They're not really running anything. It's somebody else that's calling these shots. Because listen, Biden is not in his right mind. We all know that, Like
what makes you think that? give me an example or two.
Come on, man. Cut out the malarkey. Cut out the malarkey.
So
and then Kamala is literally dumb. Like, she is literally, if you listen to her talk, she is dumb. And as she's a former prosecutor, I don't even see how she got through school. Like,
right.
This woman is not the brightest cookie at all. And that's why she did not do a lot of interviews, because she's dumb. And I know she was not going to be like, if she was actually calling the shots, if she won, she was actually calling the shots. Okay, whoever was going to be calling the shots for it, they were going to ruin this country anyway. No matter who it was.
Agree.
But if they let her just do it by herself, I mean, America will probably go downhill even faster. But we were saved. We were saved by the bell. Oh my goodness.
And we were saved by the fact that they put themselves in a trap. I think whoever it is, Obama, whatever gang is running the country, they brought in Kamala Harris for sort of historical reasons. Maybe Obama thought she'd be the female equivalent of him. And then they couldn't get rid of her because I bet you if they could have, they would have.
Yeah.
But there was no ability to do that, particularly with all the identity politics that they play. They couldn't do it. Now, I mean, Kamala Harris surely knew that the vast majority of Americans believed the country was going completely in the wrong direction.
Right.
We're talking about massive majorities, 70% plus, right? And then she goes on, I forget if it was The View or if it was, she was asked, how are you different than Joe Biden, right? This is like the key question, the simple question. And she could have given a very prepared answer, right? She should have said something like, well, you know what? I do share a lot of Joe Biden's values. I do agree in decency. I do agree about equality. I do believe about giving people who haven't had a chance. But my policies would be very different from Joe Biden's because I think there's a better way. But no. She just goes, well, I don't have any disagreements with. I mean, talk about sealing your own fate.
Dumb. She's dumb.
Yeah.
This woman is, I know Donald Trump's type. Oh, shut up. Oh, I'm so glad she didn't win. Thank you, Jesus. Oh.
Now, Terrence, we have
man, it feels so. I am so glad. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
No,
I'm sorry.
Terrence,
Okay.
look, I got to talk about different levels of joy and jubilation.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first level is Trump won. We're all very happy about that.
Right.
But I got to tell you, and this may actually reflect badly on my character because there's a second thing that's going on that actually gives me greater pleasure than Trump winning, and that is the torment and confusion and hysteria of the left and of the Democrats. They have taken, Debbie and I were talking about this on the way to the podcast, they have taken, I'm going to call it the fourfold blow. So here's the fourfold blow. Number one, they lost the election. That's bad. They thought they were going to win.
Well, they did.
Number two, they lost the popular vote. That's even more painful because they wanted at least to have the talking point of we really won. We got more votes. They did not get more votes. Number three, they lost both houses of Congress. Not one. They lost both. Right? They were not expecting that.
Yeah.
But four, and I think in a way four is even the worst. All the minority groups that they championed, right? We're doing it for the blacks. We're doing it for the Hispanics.
Yeah.
All these groups moved toward Trump. And these were the groups that, I mean, they were like, Trump is a racist. The one thing you can tell you about this guy is he's a racist.
Right.
And of course, you remember the mileage they tried to get out of that Puerto Rican joke that Trump even didn't make. Some guy made it at the red. Here we go. There goes Puerto Rico.
And I thought it was
they thought the joke
yes.
would settle the election.
Yeah.
Right. And now these people are like, there's just no place for them to go.
And he got a large Latino vote.
The Latino
so they
vote.
literally thought the Puerto. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Debbie and I have been particularly excited about this. Unfortunately, our buddy Myra Flores lost very narrowly, by the way, but in that Rio Grande Valley, which is all Hispanic. And there are counties down there that are, 95%? Starr County, for example, which was heavily Democratic for Hillary Clinton, was moderately Democratic for Joe Biden.
Right.
And is now straight for Trump. I mean, these are sea changes of American politics.
Right. And I've been enjoying the meltdowns.
Yeah.
I've been on TikTok scrolling, download I'm a Netflix. Oh, this one is good. Oh, let me not watch all of this. Let me just do this is good. This is good. I mean, I am enjoying it. You know, a lot of them have been saying, "Can you guys please stop gloating?" Like, can you guys please stop? No. No. I've even had a couple of my followers say, Terrence, Be better than them. No. No. When they go low, I go low. When they go low, I go lower. Okay.
Yeah.
Limbo.
You mean it's like that game, but they lower the bar.
Because you know what? If they would have won, if Kamala would have won, we would not hear the end of it. You don't think they would be gloating?
Not only that, I think
they would be gloating. They would be shaming us, saying we finally got rid of racism. We finally got rid of you Nazis.
Well, it's worse. I'll tell you why. They would not have been contented with gloating, because gloating is one thing. That's, gloating. But what they would have done is they would have tightened the noose around our neck.
Right.
They would have gone for more censorship.
Yep.
They would have gone for more demonization. Yep. They would have expanded, I think, the category of people that they would have prosecuted. Mm-hmm. So these are very vicious, nasty people.
Exactly.
And they've got a lot of ordinary Democrats that they've convinced that this is the right way to go. Mm-hmm. So this is not just the leadership. You have down the line Democrats who go, oh yeah, lock Trump up, put him away for life. That's going to be good for the country.
Right.
And so gloating is a very moderate response to the fact that these people.
I love gloating. I don't know. I can't get enough of it right now. I can't. And I'm telling people now, you're going to get sick of me. Dinesh, you might get tired of me. Debbie might get tired of me. Because every single day, I'm going to remind people that Donald Trump will be the next president of these United States of America. And I'm going to remind them every single day, rub it in their faces, because since Donald Trump came down those escalators and everyone who publicly supported him, they literally vilified all of us. We were vilified, crucified, every single thing. They literally went after us ever since Donald Trump announced he was running the first time. And even when Donald Trump's, and I don't think he lost in 2020. I thought, so even when he was not reelected in 2020, they still didn't leave us alone.
On the contrary,
they kept. And if y'all don't like this man so much, why you keep poking the bear? Now he back. And if y'all, you know what I'm saying? They should have left him alone. Y'all gonna make this man run again. They probably made him run again. I mean, they kept poking the bear. And then if y'all would have and I believe the election, I don't think it was fair. I think it was some shady stuff that went on in the 2020 election. When I say things, when I'm talking on these podcasts and interviews, I have to be careful how I say things, because the trolls will take this and say, even the Trump supporters say he think things are shady with this election. No, the 2020 election. And if they would have just let Donald Trump in 2020, he'll be gone by now.
They
wouldn't have to deal with him now.
Yeah, so true. But right back with Terrence. The story of My Pillow is a testament to faith and transformation. Mike Lindell, once battling addiction, found a new path when he embraced faith and began following Jesus. And gratitude, Mike is excited to share an exclusive offer with my viewers and listeners. Right now, the standard My Pillow is available for just $14.88, a savings that's too good to pass up. There's a limit of 10 per customer, so don't wait to take advantage of this amazing deal now with promo code Dinesh. Mike genuinely believes God gave him the idea for My Pillow in a dream, and it's designed with your comfort in mind. The pillow holds its shape, it adapts perfectly to your unique sleep position, it helps to keep your neck aligned for the best night's sleep. And there's more. Take home a 4-piece kitchen set for just $25. Enjoy the new mattress topper starting at just $99.99, or pick up the luxurious My Pillow bed sheets starting at $49.98. Here's the number to call: 800-876-0227. Again, that's 800-876-0227, or go to mypillow.com. Use promo code Dinesh. Unlock huge discounts. Don't miss out. Order today. Are you feeling overwhelmed by the increasing cost of health insurance? Have you had enough of not having control over your healthcare dollars? Introducing ShareRight. It's healthcare done the right way. At ShareRight, you're not just a number, you're part of a caring community. And forget about paying excessive premiums. With ShareRight, you stand to save 30 to 50% compared to health insurance. Think about what you could do with all those savings. But it's more than just savings. ShareRight ensures you have access to the care you deserve precisely when you need it, from routine checkups to unexpected emergencies. With ShareRight, your healthcare is their top priority. Empower yourself today by taking control of your healthcare costs. Visit shareright.org/Dinesh. Learn more. See how much you can save. Visit shareright.org/Dinesh. That's shareright.org/Dinesh for healthcare done the right way. I'm back with the one and only Terrence Williams, and we are chuckling about the 2024 election. And Terrence, you are making a really good point, namely that if Trump had come in 2020, let's just say his legal challenges had succeeded, right? First of all, there would still be a big question mark over everything, because it's like, okay, you contested it, the courts ruled in your favor. They would still call him, that they would say that he illegitimately overturned the result of the 2020 election. He would have inherited this, an economy that had been wrecked by COVID. He would have a lot of opposition from the get-go. But now he comes in, he has a House, he has a Senate, he's got a 6-3 Supreme Court. In a way, he's kind of unstoppable right now.
Right.
And so the Democrats have ironically set themselves up, not to mention the fact that I think you're right. This is a case where the right has become much tougher and is... You notice the way that each appointment is now being vetted, as if to say, look at the Senate leadership, for example. It's like, we don't want some moderately right of center guy. We want somebody who is like in sync with Trump.
Right.
Because we're coming, I saw RFK recently saying basically, I think he said something like, on day one, his plan is to fire 1,600 bureaucrats. I mean, to my knowledge, this kind of thing has never happened. I was here in the country in the early days of Reagan, 1980. Reagan comes in, of course, we had Carter, and there was a tremendous appetite for change. And Reagan took advantage of that. I mean, he got some massive legislation through because people were just not in the mood they were in the mood to do bold things. And I'm sensing for the first time in 40 years, that same mood is back in America. I mean, not just Trump, but I think Trump 2024 is going to be very different than Trump 2016, when Trump admittedly was an outsider. I mean, there's some advantages to being an outsider, but one of the disadvantages is you come into a cesspool and you don't really know where all the piranhas are. You don't really know where how deep the swamp goes. You don't really, you think, okay, I can't trust the media, but sure, I can trust the FBI, can't I? I can bring in John Kelly. He's a general. Generals do what they're told, don't they? So this guy's going to be good for chief of staff. I think Trump, in a normal way, thought these things. And I think he's realized the problems are much worse than he had even suspected. Right.
I totally agree. Now Trump knows. Now, so he is going in it. And I'm loving some of these appointments. Yeah. He's making some really great appointments. But like you said in the beginning, Trump did not know. He did not know how deep the swamp, went. He didn't know how deep it was. It was deeper than the ocean. And it's still deep. Yeah. But now Trump he's making some really great judgment now, and he's listening to people who is warning him about others. Because a lot of people right now on social media, people in his circle are warning him, don't hire this person, don't hire that person. And Trump, and see, people like to call Trump a mean person, and Trump is mean, he's this, but Trump is actually a really nice guy. And he's also a forgiving guy, okay? Because he does give a lot of second chances to people who have, in the past, he's given second chances to people who have, stabbed them in the back.
Well, I mean, let's mention just straight off the top, Megyn Kelly. There was a lot of bad blood with Megyn Kelly.
Exactly.
Look at Marco Rubio. There was some bad blood with Marco Rubio.
Oh, those debates. Oh, yeah.
Man. And who's the Secretary of State? Rubio.
Exactly.
So people who say, well, Trump is, he's so petty, he's not magnanimous. It takes a magnanimous guy to go, you know what? Yeah, Rubio. He'll be fine.
Exactly. But I think now he knows who to give a second chance to if he does work with somebody who has, said something negative about him. But Trump knows that it's politics at the same time, right?
Yep.
When Trump is running against these guys, Trump is going to hit you hard, And I know Donald Trump, he's you know, he's been kind to me. But if I ran against Trump, I'd be Tiny Terrence. He'd be like Tiny Terrence. You know, yeah. I'll be, you know, he will go in on me. I'll have to drop out. Like, I can't do this. I can't be Tiny no more, Trump. I can't be Tiny T no more. You know. And then we'll shake hands afterwards. I'll endorse him and say, I endorse Donald Trump. He'll be like, Terrence is such a great guy.
Everything is forgotten and forgiven. Yeah. In fact, Terrence has grown 3 inches since we last talked. Right?
When you support Trump, you grow, okay?
You know what else is interesting is that Trump's coalition is bigger now. And I think this is a good thing because Republicans as a party are a little bit weak-kneed. They, you know, you see all this going on, even in the House, even in the Senate. But I think that this new infusion of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Elon Musk.
I love it.
I mean, these guys are not traditional Republicans at all. And in fact, they come in with here's an example. No other Republican, I think, would have said what Elon Musk said, which is basically you take a government, the size of government, and Musk goes, well, why don't we cut it in half? Right now, you just have to step back and think about this for a minute, because when Republicans cut government, what they usually mean is trimming at the edges. They don't mean taking an axe to the actual size of government, because a lot of that is already packed into all these entitlements. So they've already considered, like, we can't touch those. You know, we're basically stuck with the discretionary aspect of government spending. But that's not how Musk thinks. The way Musk thinks is, listen, I got Twitter. I fired 80% of the people there, and Twitter is running better than ever. Right. So there's nothing to say that Twitter needed to have, you know, Twitter in the old days and all these people sitting around doing nothing. Most of them were just kind of like on their phones, you know, and all getting paid rather handsome salaries, living in San Francisco in lofts. And Musk just basically goes, boom, you're out of here.
Yeah.
And now whether that can be done to government is not going to be easy. But what I love is the fact that they're at least starting there. I mean, they're letting their mind go to the fact that there needs to be some real surgery. And because think about
it can be cut in half. I mean, I was listening to Trump on Joe Rogan.
Yep.
Joe Rogan was asking him how many appointments do he make? How many people do he hire? You know, Trump said, you know, he make a number of appointments, but Trump said that over like the whole administration, he said normally it's like 10,000 people that are working for the administration. You have all these departments, and you have HUD. They have HUD. You have HUD in DC, New York. It's all spread out. You got all these employees, so you got all these different departments. Which Trump said it's over 10,000 something people that are hired to work for the administration. They're not all in DC. They're not all at the White House. But working in these different departments, I think a lot of that can be cut in half.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember.
I think so. I mean, it's a lot of people.
A lot of these buildings. If you've been to DC, of course, and you see these buildings, and they're gigantic buildings, and there are thousands of people in each of those buildings, and all the buildings have solemn names: Department of Education, Department of Energy, Department of Housing, and you only have to think for a minute and ask the question, you know. For example, how much energy is made by the Department of Energy? Right. And the answer is none. You know, how many people are educated by the Department of Education? None. Right. How many in all these cases, Department of Transportation? How many people are being transported by the Department of Transportation? Really, none. So these are bureaucrats who run these departments, but they don't do any of what the department is supposed to do. They are just leeches off of the taxpayer. Right. And so there does need to be the other thing that needs to happen, I think, besides the shrinkage for efficiency, which is what Elon Musk is focused on, is you look at places like the FBI. And I think Trump, when he came in, he probably thought, well, look, there probably are some bad guys in the FBI like Comey at the top. Right. But I think he now knows that there's a corrupt set of incentives that go all the way down. In other words, the ordinary agent has been getting memos that say, hey, listen, go find another January 6th protester, even if he was in the Capitol for 5 seconds, or even if he didn't even go in, let's get that guy. Don't worry about these sex trafficking cases. They're not important right now. Our priority is January. So think about the ordinary guy he goes, well, you know, if I get another January 6th guy, I get a bonus. I get a commendation. I'm like on the inside at the FBI. I can retire with a pension. So this is a way in which I think the left has insidiously rotted almost our entire government.
Right.
And so that's a big job ahead.
Yeah, it is.
You think Trump recognizes the magnitude of it?
I believe he does. The left has abused their power.
Right.
And they've used it to try to take Trump down.
Yep.
This man was not guilty of 99.9999999% of the things that they accused him of. But they knew that they could accuse him of anything, charge him with anything they wanted to, and go after him. They don't need no evidence. Like, look at Letitia James. What do you mean? They tried to take his whole entire...
His company.
I mean, she's not working for... for the federal government. Of course, she's not working for, the White House, of course, but she kind of is, in my opinion. I mean,
these people we know that they've had meetings,
exactly.
They've had collusion, they're coordinating, even if they aren't.
But even look at what she can do, and she works for the state of New York. She can literally charge Trump with business fraud for loans that he took out and paid back. And said, well, he lied on the application. Okay, did he pay the loans back? Yeah. So who's the victim? I don't know.
Yeah.
But he need to pay us, or are we going to take... And then also, they knew his financials. Oh, Trump is sitting on $500 million in cash. So the fine is going to be $500 million. And if you don't pay up, we're going to take Mar-a-Lago. And also, we're going to do this, okay? They devalue his Mar-a-Lago estate. Okay. They devalued it because they were going to devalue all of his properties. And that way they devalue and say, okay, Trump, if you don't come up with the 500 million, we're going to take Mar-a-Lago. That's only worth like maybe 10 million. That's maybe worth this building's maybe worth only 5. Devaluing everything so they can take everything.
They can take it all.
So they can take it all. Say, well, you owe us this. So that means all your properties come to us. How? That's worth $1 billion. That's worth more than that. Not according to us. So
right. And
imagine, like, if she can do that, get away with that, and she works for the state of New York, imagine being in what the FBI can do. Imagine what the CIA can do. Imagine what they can do. They can do it 10. We ain't seen nothing. Letitia, we haven't seen anything. They can do that at a higher, they're a beast with it. So it's a lot of, and I know Trump knows it's a lot of corruption. So, and they're going after him. These special prosecutors. What do y'all have on this man? Nothing. So Trump does understand that. And I think that's exactly why he's been a victim. He's been a victim of an abuse of power, and now he sees that. Now he sees that. A lot of people in this country always talk about, the justice system is not fair. The justice system, they wrongfully convict people. They wrongfully accuse people of things. Trump now understands that. Now he understands that, yes, they actually do. They will actually go after you for absolutely no reason at all, just because they don't like you, or just because they want to meet a quota, just because they want to look cool and get a raise.
Well, they want to stop
exactly.
You.
So he's going to clean house.
We'll be right back with Terrence Williams. Back with Terrence Williams. By the way, the website, guys, Cousin Tees, just cousints.com. TerrenceKWilliams.com is also Terrence's website, and you can follow him on X at W_Terrence. That's TERRENCE. Terrence, it kind of reminds me of the movie The Count of Monte Cristo, where this guy is falsely accused. He's incarcerated for years, and in fact, Jim Caviezel plays the young Jim Caviezel plays the hero, and then he comes out. And needless to say, he's mighty pissed off because he's like, I am now going to devote myself to settling some scores. And so, although the left goes, well, Trump is out for revenge. I mean, you got to say that revenge, to a degree, is nothing more than an implementation of simple justice, right? If some guy tries to frame you, ruin you, destroy your life, and is then not held accountable in any way,
right?
How can that be fair?
It's not even really revenge. He's going after the corruption.
Right.
You guys are corrupt. You guys wrongfully convicted this man of things he didn't even do. You guys literally tried to take his life away. You guys literally, you didn't just try to assassinate him, but you've been assassinating his character for the last 8 years. You've been demonizing him for the last 8 years. I mean, these people are corrupt and they've been abusing their power. That's not revenge. This is not revenge. He's making a correction. He's going to go clean up house and correct all this mess. That's what it is.
Terrence, when I think about MAGA and the MAGA spirit, I kind of think of you a little bit. And what are we calling this, honey? What's the name of this podcast? It's
called The Face of MAGA.
The Face of MAGA. You're the face of MAGA. And let me tell you why. Because here you are, a guy who started out life were you in an orphanage?
Foster care.
You were in foster care. You were bounced around from home to home.
Yep.
And one might expect that as a result of that, you would be embittered, downcast, defeated, looking for explanations of why you can't succeed, looking for people to step in and, society owes me because I haven't had the same shakes out of life as other people. But nothing could be further from the truth. You have a completely different orientation. You are an entrepreneur. So I want you to talk about how you went that way. What made you reject the path of dependency and victimization? What gave you the confidence as someone starting at the bottom of the ladder to say, I'm gonna go into comedy. None of my this is maybe new for my family, but I'm gonna do it. And then I'm gonna start a company, and I'm gonna sell stuff on the internet, and I'm gonna sell stuff every which way, and I'm gonna expand. This is an incredibly forward-looking. This is what will restore our country in the end. Is people thinking like this? It
is the American dream. See, growing up in the foster care system, of course, I've now there was a moment that I went down that path of, oh, everybody owes me. Oh, why me? Why me? Why me? Oh my God. Oh, like everything is everybody else's fault. Now when you're a child, you have no control really.
Right.
I am in the custody of the state. I'm in the custody of somebody's home. I'm a child. But once you become an adult, regardless of what you've been through, and I feel so sorry for people who've been through a lot. I've been through a lot. But once you become an adult, you are literally in control of your own life, okay? Going forward, you're an adult. You can make decisions for yourself now. Now you know right from wrong. And I can choose to say, okay, oh, well, I want to be on government assistance for the rest of my life. But I wanted more for myself. If you want more for yourself, you're not gonna want to be on government assistance for the rest of your life. You're not gonna want a handout because you will always be limited to what people just give you. You always be limited to what the government is giving you. And I wanted more for myself. I eventually, you know what? I want more than this. I'm sick of I got my hand out, my hand getting tired. I'm just all that, please,
and it's a little degrading. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because think about it, if you see a scene, you have one guy's walking down the street, another guy's sticking his hand out.
Is that the best I can do? Is have my hand out?
Right.
Is that that's my only capability? Is to put my hand out? Is that my talent? Is having my hand out? No. So and I wanted more for myself. So, I have to look myself in the mirror and say, hey, You are in control of your life. If you want something, go get it. Go get it. Go get it. And is it going to be easy? See, people can say, oh, but in America, these are the statistics. Is that when black? No, I don't care about no statistics. Okay, I know that I don't care. If you want something, go get it. Nobody ever said it was going to be easy. No one said it was ever going to be easy at all. And I had to realize that it's not going to be easy. Do not give up. Go for what you want. And one day I want a big house. One day I want this. I want that. How am I going to get that? Not have my hand out. I have to do something. What do I want to do? I have to figure that out.
And how did you figure it out? In other words, you obviously saw that there was something about you that was funny, because you said, all right, you know what? I'm going to start in comedy. I'm going to make people laugh. How did you realize? Because there are people who are like, I know how to tell a good story. When I tell my friends, they always chuckle. Yeah. But that's a long way from that.
If anybody say, "Do you want to hear a joke?" Just say no. It's not going to be funny. It's not going to be funny.
Yeah.
But now, see, I was a class clown. So, and growing up, a lot of people was, "Terrence, you're so funny. You're so funny. You are so funny." I had a teacher in high school. I was in this entrepreneurial program in high school. We had like an entrepreneur class. It was like one of the what do you call it? It was just like one of the extra.
Yeah, right.
It's so
optional.
Exactly. So I was in that class, and so that's where some of my entrepreneurial spirit developed. But my entrepreneur teacher, she said, "Terrence," she said, "I normally don't even tell my students this, but whatever you do in life, do not be behind a desk. Your personality needs to be in front of people." She said, "You probably don't even need college." And she said, and I normally do not tell students that, but she said, "Do not waste your life behind a cubicle. Do not do it. You need to be in front of people. And if you decide to go into the workplace, be in front of people. If you want to go in the hospital, like if you want to," she was in the hotel business. She said, "Hey, if you want to go into the hotel business, you don't need to be the guy behind the desk. You need to be meeting with people, convincing them to do things with the hotel. You need to be talking to people.
Yeah.
You need to be talking with executives. You need to be part of the, whatever." But she told me, just don't be behind the desk because you have a funny personality. And a lot of my friends would say, "You should get into comedy." And I was like, you know what? I was kind of scared to get into comedy at first because I also have a speech impediment. I grew up stuttering a lot. I used to I couldn't get a word out at first. So I used to have a speech therapist. So I'm like, nah, what if I start stuttering? What if people make fun of my speech impediment? So it was a little insecurity. I'm like, people probably won't, I'm like, I can be funny around y'all, but on stage, I don't know about that. But I decided to go ahead and do that, just to face my fears. That's what people have to do. Face your fears. Face your fears. If you want to do something, do it. Do it. If it doesn't work, then it don't work. And sometimes if it don't work, figure out how to make it, whatever you're doing, make it better. Fix, but sometimes things may not work at the moment, but it'll work eventually. Work on your craft. Work on perfecting whatever you are doing. But I just decided just to go for it. And that's exactly what I did. I said, I'm going to just go get on stage.
Debbie,
I'm going to just do it.
Debbie has a friend. He's a very funny guy. And he's extremely successful. Guess why? He decided to become a salesman. Mm-hmm. And he ultimately became a Viagra salesman. Right?
Oh, wow.
Now, he think about it. He go right. Isn't this funny? We're talking about a friend of Debbie's, and what it is that he realizes that when, as a medical guy, because he actually represents Viagra, right? Mm-hmm. If you're a funny guy and you go to these hospitals and you make everybody laugh like crazy, they're like, we want to see this guy around next month. Uh-huh. You know what I mean? So as a result, you don't even have to be on stage, but what you're doing is you're looking at yourself in the mirror. You're objectively saying, this is what I do well. Mm-hmm. And you're saying, how can I leverage that and do and produce something that people actually want?
Exactly.
Whether it's goods, whether it's services, whether it's in the corporate sector, whether it's in the improv. And now let's say a word about
just do it. People just have to just do it. Go for it. It's that simple. No matter, like, yes, I come from the foster care system, but I was born in one of the best. I was born in the best country in the world, America, the land of the opportunities. So I have that privilege of being an American. So, when you need to take advantage of that. Like, you live in America, anybody can make it. And so I got into comedy, and I love food. Everybody know I love food. I love food. That was that was one of my first jobs, working in the hospital. I was passing out food trays. I became a cook. I love food, and I love eating, and I love pancakes. And I loved Aunt Jemima. They counsel Aunt Jemima. Aunt Jemima was I miss going in the grocery store, seeing her beautiful big black smile. Everybody loved Aunt Jemima. Everybody and their mama loved Aunt Jemima. Black people, white people, and they took her away. The woke left, which I'm glad they're gone. So I was pissed off, and I came out with Cousin T's pancakes. I don't want to eat nobody else's pancakes. It was Aunt Jemima or nothing at all. So I came out with, I said, you know what? I love food. And I said, you know what? I've always wanted to own a food business. So I said, what if I came out with my own pancakes? And then I came out with Cousin T's pancakes. And I didn't know how it was going to go, but it went really great. It's a really great mix. And then in honor of, Trump, in honor of Trump and the movement, how we fought and never surrendered, I made a special edition box, Fight, Fight, Fight.
Oh my gosh,
and
fight,
and
pancakes.
My never surrender syrup.
Never surrender syrup.
And we have to continue to fight and never surrender, because the left is not going to stop. But this was in honor of that, of us continuing to fight and never surrendering. So I came out with this, and people were already pissed off because I put my black face on the box, because people don't like black faces on food boxes anymore, or any kind of minority on a food box. They removed they removed the Indian lady, Uncle Ben, the guy from the Mato meal. They removed every minority face off of these food boxes. So they don't like that. There's something about a black person being on a pancake box which makes them left melt down. Which you don't listen. You must have a great life. If like I said, these people have a great life. This is how you know America is the greatest country, is that your biggest concern in life is a black person being on a pancake box in a syrup bottle. That's what you losing sleep over? Aunt Jemima?
You're saying if
that's
anybody,
your biggest issue in life? That is what makes you stay up at night. That's how you know America's the greatest country. People have to create problems for themselves.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Guys, I've been talking to Terrence Williams. You got to support his company. It's called Cousin T's.
Thank you.
CousinTees.com. Terrence, what a great pleasure. Great to have you.
It's great being on. Great being on. It's always great talking to Dinesh.
All right.
Yes. Thank you, brother.
Subscribe to the Dinesh D'Souza podcast on Apple, Google, and Spotify, or watch on Rumble, YouTube, and SalemNow.com.